My girlfriend told a guy she couldn't stop thinking about him at a bar. I have been in a relationship with my girlfriend for 2 years. Throughout this time, she has been an incredible source of support during challenging periods, and I believe she would say the same about me. She met a guy in school in last month and she had a wet dream about him that she told her sister about. They've maintained communication through text, mostly centered around school-related matters, although there was an instance when they discussed an upcoming bar crawl. During the bar crawl I noticed that she was often talking to him and at one point he even grabbed her by the waist. I got upset and confronted her about it after we got home. She admitted that she flirted with him and confessed to him that she couldn't stop thinking about him even though she loves me. She said after he asked her to dump me for him, she told him I was the best thing that happened to her and she couldn't because of it. I consider this cheating because she is obviously interested in the guy and still continued to make contact with him and followed him around during the bar crawl. If I were in her position with being tempted by a girl, I would have cut all contacts with her in order to be not tempted. She was very apologetic and promised to do everything to earn my trust back. She wants a second chance. Like I said, we are both heavily dependent on each other and it would mess me up big time being separated from her, but I don't know how I could trust her again. I don't want to be hurt again in the future, especially since we were considering marriage. Should I give her a second chance? Is what she did considered cheating? Nothing physical happened other than him grabbing her by the waist, which really angered and upset me. I had to show a great amount of restraint as I was ready to seriously hurt this guy, which would have gotten me kicked out of the professional school we attend. I spent the whole next day crying in my room and she was there confronting me and admitting to her mistake. I asked for a couple weeks of not seeing each other to evaluate our relationship. I consider this a betrayal, but she has also been a great positive in my life in how she treats me and supportive she is of me. Comment: I can't make your decision for you. But if this is a deal breaker for you, that is 100% valid. It would be for me too. It doesn't matter if anyone else here considers her behavior cheating. If you do, then that's what matters. Sure, people sometimes develop crushes in relationships. But she acted on hers by flirting and confessing to him that she couldn't stop thinking about him. To me that sounds like it was heading in the direction of emotional affair territory, especially considering he asked her to dump you. I can't tell you whether to give her a second chance. Personally, I think you're better off not doing so. But that's your choice. I will say, there are plenty of potential partners out there who will be both supportive during challenging periods, and will not cross significant boundaries with other men. You can have both. I'm really sorry you're going through this. I hope the space you asked for lends you to make the decision that's best for you. Yeah, I don't think anyone, except maybe her, would fault you for walking away at this point. You're too young to deal with crap like this. But you're also trying to get an emotionally immature girl into a committed relationship. So it's like paddling a canoe upstream, you're going to have to fight every moment and can't rest. Telling him she can't stop thinking about him was a major signal to him that she's available, and encourages him to give her more attention. Sharing her feelings with him is her acting out. Stop treating her like she's 16. She's 25 and knows exactly what she's doing. You need therapy as to why you tolerate emotional abuse, love is not a solid reason, and why you are codependent. This isn't a healthy long-term relationship. I agree with your advice. If I could add my thoughts, 25 is still young. Both of them will experience times where they have a physical attraction to others. This is only natural. We choose not to cheat to preserve our relationships. This sounds like a situation where alcohol was involved. An attractive male was putting the move on your beloved because he sensed an opportunity. Betting her would be a notch on his bedpost. He probably wasn't interested in any long-term relationship. It's interesting that he chose to put his arm around her in such a possessive way, knowing that they were a couple, and apparently this guy knew Op would see that. Thank goodness Op didn't let his temper get the best of him. That person has no class. It's just a fact that if your lady goes to bars, there is a good chance some men will make a move on them. Alcohol is a favorite tool of predators because it works. I apologize for tagging onto your post, but again I think your advice is sound and I hope OP listens to you. Next story 2. Is my relationship with my male friend inappropriate? I've been in a relationship with my boyfriend for 3 years and we have known each other for 10. I have a male friend who I've known for about the same amount of time, but we really became friends after high school because he was hooking up with a girlfriend of mine. We worked together for about a year around the same time my boyfriend and I started dating. So both men know each other and have met. They are friends on social media and occasionally talk computer stuff. This male friend talks to me pretty frequently, almost every day even though we don't live in the same city anymore. I would say he's one of my closest friends as well. Nothing has been inappropriate, he's never made a move on me and has lots of other female friends. To be frank, I'd be completely fine if my BF were to read all our conversations. But at times I feel like maybe we talk too often? Is it inappropriate that he checks in on me pretty much every day? If my boyfriend had a female friend he was talking to every day I might feel insecure about it. But I'm also very transparent about our conversations. I've asked my boyfriend about it and it doesn't seem to bother him. I couldn't say if my BF and I weren't together that this friend wouldn't make a move. But that's all hypothetical, so does it even matter? Is it odd? Or am I overthinking it? I just don't want to be doing something in my relationship that I'm not sure I'd be comfortable with if the roles were reversed. Comment. This is just the kind of questions that will make a lot of insecure people insist that you cut this person off completely, but really, if everyone's cool with the situation, there's no harm. If you think your out-of-town friend might harbor hopes of something more someday, you might want to have a talk about that, but otherwise TT's good that you're thinking it through, but not, you're cool. Okay, I have a woman as my best friend. Know her for years. I've been married to my wife for decades. I purposely don't communicate with her every day. Just out of respect for my wife and our relationship. We probably text every few days and will chat on the phone about once a week. I don't feel what you are doing is inappropriate, but you might want to balance your communication with your friend with regards to your BF. If someone were to look at your phone, who are you texting more? And is it by a lot? And of course, content matters, lol. By and large you are overthinking this, but it is something you do need to think about. Friendships like this are generally fine until they are not, so they require a mindful approach to maintaining boundaries consistently. Since it sounds like your friend is not playing a long con by way of holding a torch for you and staying in this friendship under false pretenses, note, this can change, life happens, and people can end up seeing you in a different light. The most likely way this would go sideways is through doing something impulsive while you're intoxicated or dealing with strong emotions like grief. I have female friends that I text throughout the day, every day. Our relationships are and always have been 100% platonic for everyone. My wife knows this and knows that she is allowed to read our convos at any time if she's feeling insecure. As far as I know she doesn't read them, but she knows she can. As long as everyone is on the same page and is comfortable, there is nothing wrong with M/F friendships. Next story 3. Am I in the wrong for telling my fiancé that if he lies to me about school again, we're done? For some context, we've been together 7 years. He's been in college off and on the entire time, a total of 18 years now with no degree. He's lied to me on numerous occasions saying that he was in school and doing well when he had actually dropped his classes or failed them and didn't want to mention it, as recently as this last spring semester. He had gone part-time at work to focus on school and was only taking one class, which he ended up failing and dropping. I found out about this by accident. Anyways, he starts at a new university this week and is taking 5 classes, which I've tried to talk to him about and he tells me every time that it'll be fine. But tonight I said that I just needed to put it out there that if he lies to me about anything to do with school again, we're done. Now he's pissed at me for bringing up the past when he was trying to be positive. But I told him that he's done this to me at least 6 times, if not more, as recently as last semester, and unfortunately I thought it needed to be blatantly put out there that that's not something I'll tolerate anymore. I told him that even if he doesn't do great in all of his classes, the one thing he has complete control over is being honest with me. So I'm wondering if I should have just kept it to myself, or if he's being a little too harsh and not seeing it from my perspective. Comment. You're being very reasonable. My concern is how you're going to monitor if he's being truthful. Are you going to check his grades? Really, the only gauge will be at the end of the semester with his final grade. Do you have a wedding date set? Cause this will be 4 months down the line. This really isn't my place to talk, but are you both sure college is the right path? How is he going to be successful in a career worthy of a college degree given his proven track record? Maybe college isn't working out for him. Has he considered a trade profession?